I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a moment of silence. Roll call.
Councilor Coast.
Here.
Councilor Estrada.
Here.
Councilor Shamp.
Here.
Councilor Chamberlain.
Present.
Councilor Sturts.
Here.
5 members are present. Councilor Fry is absent. We have a quorum.
Okay, I don't think we have anybody wishing to speak today. So let's move on to committee reports. Oh, the minutes, yes, sorry. Skip right over it. We need the approval of prior meetings minutes.
So moved. Second.
I'm so worried about that.
Motion moved by Councilor Shamp and second by Councilor Estrada. Councilor Shamp.
Yes.
Councilor Estrada.
Yes. Just vote
Councilor.
twice. I was good. Trying to change that.
Councilor Coast.
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain.
Yes.
Councilor Sturts.
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
I need some minutes, that might help us. Okay, all righty. Now let's move on to committee reports. Safety and Code.
Safety and Code, I will go over this in Rick Fry's absence. He is the chairman of the committee, but we met on Wednesday, April 8th to consider the idea that had come forth from the Wauseon Planning Commission meeting to eliminate the planned unit development provisions in the zoning code for the city of Wauseon. That would be the part of the code that allows for the PUD, planned unit development. It had been discussed that the current B4 zoning would accommodate the equivalent of the PUD, and therefore the PUD was not necessary. We had several people speak on our behalf: Perry Rupp, Tim Dennis, Matt Gilroy from Economic Development, and pretty much explained that even if we were not going to use the PUD provision, there was really no reason to eliminate it from the code, because it could be utilized at some point down the road as an economic tool as far as bringing somebody into the city. So with that in mind, we decided, and there again, this was to remove it, so the committee voted to do nothing with this at this point in time, in essence leaving the PUD in the code. Now, there was also discussion that some of the existing wording of that part of the code may need to be revised to make it more workable, but I think that is something that Tom Hall would work on in the future if that language was necessary. So we have no recommendation.
So you mentioned there was a vote, though. There was no vote, just a non-action.
Well, yeah, the committee unanimously conveyed that they wish to do nothing. I guess that.
Yes, they voted to do nothing.
Yeah, we vote, yeah.
There was a vote?
I don't recall.
No,
Maybe.
Maybe we just voted to
It doesn't
adjourn.
look like
No,
anybody put a vote forward.
was
It
no
just-
But we
they
have no
just didn't act.
recommendation.
They didn't act.
Okay, so there was no official action.
There is no action. There's no request for action.
It was a good meeting, though. Well, it's just no action.
It was informative.
Yeah, it was very informative.
Well, when you say there was a vote, that usually indicates there was some sort of formal action, but it sounds like you informally agreed to do nothing.
What you're getting here, just plead the fifth. Okay? Just go lawyer mode on us, just plead the fifth.
For 13 years, Tom paid no attention to anything I ever said. And now
This
he's,
isn't even your report.
and now he's listening to me.
So that wording that you guys discussed is going to be coming back to Planning Commission then? Is that the plan, Tom?
If in the future someone decides that the wording for the PUD needs to be changed, that would be brought. I don't know if it does or not.
If they want to look into it, we will submit options of language to, you want it to go to the Planning Commission or back to you guys first?
I would say planning commission.
Okay.
Okay.
I think a summary from what I gathered from it is that in the future that the Plan Commission works with the applicant and they follow what the guidelines or the standards are in the ordinance and make sure that those are followed more precisely,
Okay.
thoroughly.
I think that was a lot of the
Okay.
issues from the Planning Commission too.
Yeah, I think that was the gist of it.
Right. Oh, no, they didn't vote. Park Board.
Well, I'll be real careful what I say during this report.
Was there a vote change?
There was no voting.
There you go.
A park board meeting on April 14, Dave Murray shared with the park board that the new ball diamonds down at the north end of Biddle Park will not be ready for use. There's some things that need to be done, and Dave doesn't have the manpower to finish those items. I shared with the park board that Rotary is planning a rededication at Biddle for those ball diamonds that will not be ready. So it seems like Rotary and Public Works need to get together and work out the details of getting those fields ready prior to the idea of a rededication. And I shared that with Rotary as well, so Rotary is aware of that. Dave mentioned that the Pool Advisory Committee is meeting, and they're still in the rough planning stage and working through the numbers. Sidewalks at Reard Park. Oh yeah, Dave's gonna move forward with the enlarging of the sidewalk, or actually setting it back farther along Imagination Kingdom there at the park at Reard to provide more space for parking. The park board has agreed to work at the homecoming, again at the ticket wheel stand. And that is about it. Nothing more. Any questions? Fire away.
Again, it's the planning commission, or the charter revision commission is used to, I don't know, Jeff was going to talk about that, or,
It's not on here, is it?
no, I mean,
I think John wants to talk about it.
Do you want to talk about it, John?
Sure. We can-
Why not? You're on a roll.
Careful what you say.
Well, the Charter Revision Commission,
It's on the third page of the minutes, if you want.
Which one?
I just, yeah, I didn't know you were ready for presentation. I thought you
Well,
were
we're
going to
not.
wait for your
We're
next
really
meeting.
not.
I
If
thought-
you're
That's
not
fine.
ready, then let's not move
Well,
forward on it.
yes,
I don't know.
there are a variety of things discussed, and we're going to meet again on the 29th, April 29th, to try to go over what was discussed. So it's very preliminary at this point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's just wait. Thank you.
I don't know, Mayor, if this would fall in the committee report time, but I had information to share with council from the cemetery board.
Yes.
Share it now? Or wait to open agenda?
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
The cemetery board, we meet on a monthly basis, and during this last meeting, we spoke about a sidewalk project that is proposed for State Route 2, sort of moving westerly out towards the West Elm apartment complex. The cemetery board wanted to convey to City Council their recommendation is to keep the sidewalk project on the north side of State Route 2. Extend the project north on Enterprise on the west side of the road. So
Okay.
the cemetery board just wanted to get that into the minutes of City Council.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll add to that also. No plans have been completed on that project. That was a joint effort with Township and the city. I think Heather had discussed that with you with monies that were donated for that. One map was made going through the cemetery and up north, and the reasoning is because if you put it on the north side, there are some obstacles in the way. Either way, it is Township, north side, south side. Since then, they've had another meeting with Township with some of the residents on the Enterprise. So they had that discussion, and they also were told nothing is set in stone yet on where that sidewalk is going to go. The reasoning it's being put in is to get citizens off of a state route walking, especially in the wintertime. So the getting together and working on this together is a joint effort, but that is duly noted, and since that last meeting with their residents, they're Dennis and myself and township trustees will get back together and see if there's another option. So thank you for their input on that. Leonard Reeker should have been giving you updates on that too, Shane, at your meetings. I was under the understanding that there was not a lot of discussion on it until the last meeting, so hopefully we'll have more soon. So, okay. Let's see. Let's move on then to department head reports.
I'm happy to announce that our environmental review that was submitted down to the state has been reviewed and approved. So their approval is for release of funds to be used for the streetscape activities for the downtown revitalization grant. That application, when it was submitted, it included activities such as the purchase and installation of benches for downtown trash receptacles, and then ADA compliance and crosswalk updates. So any committees that we need to meet with to move forward, we could probably start scheduling that. I look forward to that discussion and coming up with the items that should be purchased in the near future. Working through the building and business owner, I have 3 building business owners that I'm working with right now for the downtown revitalization. My guinea pig that I'm using, and I've talked to Rich Payment, is Sunshine Community, so I'm going to work them through the process first. And then I have Greaser Funeral Home, and then also one of the other law offices downtown that I'm working with. But I haven't received an application yet from them. So, but I started an Excel spreadsheet, and I have about 19 folks, building business owners, that have expressed interest in committing to projects. So that looks good with moving forward with that. And then also working with the Wauseon Library, there's a Targets of Opportunity grant that we sent down to the state ODSA office, a letter of intent to pursue with that application. The state, about a week or 2 after we had submitted that letter of intent, accepted the approval for us to actually apply for that. So I'm working with Amy Murphy so we can apply for that Targets of Opportunity grant, which is a $200,000 cap grant. And that's a matching grant also. Community development block grant dollars for that, so it has to follow all the environmental review and those guidelines. And then the community development implementation strategy, there's a meeting on the 23rd, it's at 10 a.m. It's during County Commissioner their regular meeting after their agenda items, so we can discuss potential projects for community development block grant allocation and competitive set-asides in the future. So that's to...
So that can be forwarded to the following year too.
It's to garner projects in the community where we can prioritize and pursue the feasibility of funding those projects in the future and coming up with a list and seeing how they fall in the years to come and meeting potential funding. That's all I have.
Just a couple of updates. I know it's hard to believe, but it's time for Safety City again. Kindergarten registration was just held, I believe, last Friday. And we have our tentative dates set for Safety City is Monday, June 1st through the June 12th. That is, as long as we have no more cancellations. And then the second section will be Monday the 15th through the 26th. Also, our Youth Police Academy will be June 8th through the 12th. Right now we have 11 people signed up, so I only have 4 more openings available, and after that it'll be just taking standbys. That's what I've got.
Great. Okay, Tom?
Working with a developer on a project on Shoup Avenue for a medical and retail facility to be going in at the side of the old drive-in, working on the preliminary site plans.
Okay.
Probably will be ready for the May Planning Commission meeting, nothing for this month for them. The project out in Glenwood's moving along despite all the mud that's out there. He's got a couple of units more poured, but I think he's going to have to hold off to get units delivered till it dries up. He can't get back in there to set them. And we're working on a couple of new houses in an older existing subdivision, so we're starting to get some good activity.
That's good. that it? All right, Dennis?
On Thursday, the 9th, the mayor and I attended the Fulton County Economic Development Corporation's annual meeting held at Founders Hall with approximately 230-some people in attendance, very well attended, good speaker. On the following day, on Friday, attended the groundbreaking ceremony, represented Wauseon at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Nature Fresh Farms project across from North Star Steel near Delta. Also on that day, the Fulton County Economic Development Committee or Corporation conducted a bus tour for school systems, guidance counselors and school administrators. Were bussed around the county to, I believe, 6 different manufacturing facilities and shown what goes on, what kind of high-tech and good-paying jobs are available in our manufacturing community in the county in an effort to give an option, a sense of direction to those students who are undecided about whether or not they want to pursue a secondary education or a conventional college education versus the technical school or take advantage of on-the-job training that's available in some cases. So that was very well received, very informative, and something that I think will happen again, highlighting different manufacturers and hopefully including some additional school systems. On the 15th, we had a pre-bid meeting for our Linfoot Street project. All of the current plan holders interested, or folks interested in bidding on the project, were in attendance, along with a representative from ODOT, Dave Murray and myself, and the engineers, the design engineers. Good meeting. Those bids again open on the 30th. It was not a requirement to bid to have attended this meeting, so there is a possibility that other people can pick up plans. All questions that were generated and answered at this meeting will be put in the form of an addendum to the bid advertisement such that all plan holders will have that information prior to bidding. Also on the Linfoot Street project, this evening you have resolution 2015-14 in front of you, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Stantec Consulting Engineers. They are going to do the inspection and the construction engineering for the Linfoot Street project. ODOT mandates that the folks that design it can't be the people that inspect the project. So that's the reason for that. There'll be one more of these coming shortly at a upcoming meeting. We'll have to do one more of these to enter into an agreement with one of the geotech firms to do compaction testing and concrete testing and what have you. But anyway, moving forward. So there were a couple of folks also, a couple of the prospective bidders inquired about how soon we would be ready to move forward with construction rather than waiting till November. There's some good and bad with that. It's not likely that if they started sooner that they'd be able to complete the project before bad weather came. So even though they got started earlier, we're probably still going to have to wait through the winter and live with a gravel road. Granted, that's not much better than or worse than what we have now, but it's not likely that they would be able to finish any sooner than about this time next year, even if they did get started earlier. But anyway, that was interesting. So, any questions?
Yeah, Dennis, are there any more meetings planned for the affected folks that live on Linfoot, or are those meetings all completed, or there's?
No, absolutely. We'll have one more.
Okay.
After our contractor has been selected, the bidder has been selected, we will hold another open house type meeting where those folks can come in and reiterate their concerns. You know, are there any, like scheduled medical deliveries or emergency situations that need to be dealt with during the construction phase. Even though local traffic will be maintained, there will be times when you pour concrete, you got to let it cure and set for 7 days. So neighbors will have to help each other out, and they'll have to do one loading dock at a industry and, leave the other one open and hop skipping around like that. But it'll be a forum for the folks, affected folks along the way, both residential and commercial, to share their concerns and their needs so that everybody can get along.
All right, thank you.
I'd like to add the economic meeting that we went to on that Thursday, that they held an election too. And our modest Dennis was nominated to sit on the regional board, is that it, of that?
Executive committee.
Executive committee on that board for 2-year term?
I think just one.
1 year, 3 years. So he was very honored that he was elected by Fulton County to sit on that. So I just thought I'd add that to your report.
Okay.
Thank you. Good job, Dennis.
Congratulations.
Jamie.
Congratulations. I just would like to report that we have made it through tax day. It got a little crazy, but the traffic wasn't as bad as I had seen in previous years. So just waiting for the tax commissioner to complete deposits, and we'll see how we did as of April 15th. But I have nothing else to report tonight.
Jamie, have all the transfers been made over from this change from one bank to another?
Just about. We're still working on a couple of issues, but for the most part, we are beginning to make deposits into our new account.
Thank you.
Okay, Tom?
We have received the first draft of the revised job descriptions and classifications from Clemens Nelson, and distributed those now to today actually to the relevant department heads for their review, and we'll go through that process for a couple of weeks and then probably put together any comments we have and then meet with the folks from Clemens Nelson to sort of firm those up. So getting going on that. And then just other some real estate matters. Dennis and I had a good meeting this afternoon, a short meeting with some of the folks from the school district regarding the transfer of the Ball Diamond property, just trying to get the language fleshed out, and so I would expect that'll happen in the next week or so. I guess that's enough. That's it.
That's it? Oh, great. Okay, moving on to legislation. First reading of legislation. Resolution, that there is a change on this, I don't know, resolution, it's 2015-14, not 2014. Authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Stantec Consulting Services Incorporated for resident project representative and construction engineering services for the Linwood Street reconstruction project.
So moved. Second?
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Chamberlain. Is there any discussion? Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, resolution 2015-14 passes on first reading.
Okay, we have nothing under second reading, so we'll move on to third reading. Ordinance 2015-5, amending section 505-0.01 of the codified ordinances of the city of Wauseon.
Third reading.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Sturts and second by Counselor Coast. Is there any discussion? Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, ordinance 2015-5 passes on third reading and will be in effect in 30 days.
Okay. Resolution 2015-11, authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Arcadis for a biosolids study for the water reclamation plant.
Third reading.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Estrada. Is there any discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, resolution 2015-11 passes on third reading and will be in effect in 30 days.
Thank you. Under new business, motion to authorize the Director of Finance to pay the 2015 membership dues to the Ohio Municipal League in the amount of $1,205.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Chamberlain. Is there any discussion? Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, can we have approval of the bills?
So moved. Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Shamp and second by Counselor Estrada. Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Estrada?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Mayor, I don't know if you had a chance to address the Girl Scouts letter.
Well, I sent it in your packet so that all council could read that. That's why I put it in that way. But you know what? I can let the public know that we did a few weeks ago, we had made National Epilepsy Day in March, and we had gotten a thank you from the Girl Scout Troop 10401. So I wanted all of council to recognize that, so I sent it in their packets. But thank you. Okay.
Second. If there wasn't one already.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. There was
First.
first. Okay.
Second.
Third?
That's a third, yeah. We're voting.
Do we really want to leave?
Tom will be asking you guys questions next week.
Poor Meg, you have to try to make it.
All right.
Motion moved by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Shamp.
Very good, that's fine.
Okay.
All we're trying to do is adjourn.
Let us go. It's a hard one.
All
See,
in
when we didn't
favor?
vote, Mike.
Aye.
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 Motion carries.
Get out of here.
No.